So, media, NiKo to join Falcons after the major. So, Falcons are reportedly due to make their second attempt for NiKo. Sick after failing the first in late 2023. NiKo is on course of joining Falcons after the ongoing season concludes at the major. Multiple reports suggest French streamer Carol leaked it. Said that the G2 and Falcons made blah, blah, blah. An agreement. A Sheep Esports report followed 2 days later with the information that the agreement was accepted on Monday and the transfer is worth between 1 to 1.2 million. It also says that NiKo plans to accept a 3-year contract with Falcons starting on January 1st. Second time, yeah, because if you guys don't know, they tried this before and failed when they first made this roster. So he's gonna join Magus and Snappy until he decided to stay with G2. Yeah, we already saw that. Basically, Falcons has sucked with not being able to get him. They couldn't get Boros to work. They brought back Dupree, and Falcons basically have not been doing great. Although I do think, did they qualify for today? Let me see. Yeah, so they qualified for the fall final. But anyway, I think what's most interesting about this is, like, obviously it's crazy to think about NiKo not on G2, especially considering the circumstances. Like, he turned them down once, and now I feel like he got the team that he wanted. But in the original, this is just purely rumors and me guessing. But if this is true, a part of also what KRL said in his leak, if I remember correctly, was that a big part of this move was NiKo was going to have to take a pay cut or a salary cut from G2. I don't know if it was like a salary cut or a pay. Like, he made it seem like NiKo wasn't getting what he previously got from G2, and G2 didn't want to maintain that anymore. So that's, I think, why he's more open to this. But also, I feel like there's no way NiKo is going to Falcons by himself, right? It's got to be Hunter or Monacy going with him. I kind of just refuse to believe that he would make that move purely for money. I'm not saying like people don't have their like numbers, and I'm not even I just feel like, oh, being who he is, and I'd be a little surprised if there isn't more to this move. That's so crazy though, because he turned him down before, and then now basically is like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. And then I had so we were talking about this yesterday, and people were like, him going to Falcons like is a downgrade. But being completely honest, I do think on the surface it's very easy to say it's a downgrade. But as soon as NiKo's out of this team, depending on who they get for him, I don't know if it's that crazy. Like, somebody said, what are his major chances? You already saw G2 kind of fizzle out. G2 had 4 players in the top players of Cologne, and they got first rounded in the playoffs. And to make that worse, they had like a 5v4, 80% of their rounds that they lost to Mouse when they got 2-0'd. So if you're sitting here as NiKo, you're going to get more money, and you're going to get to go play with Magus, Dupree, and Zonic, who Dupree has found his form again. Magus is Magus, and Zonic is not. Like Magus is still doing Magus things. He just isn't doing it as much, but I think that's because the team sucks. I rate Snappy pretty well as an IGL. You're going to have, and dude, imagine if he brings Monacy or brings if there's a slight upgrade to bring with the op or even a rifler. Because then you're probably looking at minimum, let's just say there's no second player. You're looking at Snappy, NiKo, Dupree, probably Magus, Zonic, Sampius. Depending on who G2 were to get in that scenario, I'd give the favor to the Falcons, which is weird to think about. But Monacy's that crazy X factor because he's just insane with the op right now. It's weird. But like a part of me just truly believes there's no way he isn't taking this guy or this guy if he goes to Falcons. That's why I also really feel like it would actually be an improved roster, because as much firepower is on this roster, I think that as much as I like Snacks, G2's biggest problem has always been they've been very stagnant. Like, they get figured out pretty easily. They get antied pretty easy. I don't think Snacks is going to solve that. Hunter's actually been better as of late, so I'm not going to flame him too hard right now. And Malbs is my goat. All right, I love Malbs, but I think that when you're comparing Dupree, Snappy, Magus to these 3, the only one I'd want more is this guy, but otherwise I would just take the Danes. So it's like, it's going to be weird, man. I'm so curious to see who's going with him. I really do refuse to believe it's just him. I really do. So I guess we got to wait and see, but this is still crazy. I feel like when HLTV reports things, it basically means it's a done deal. But what's weird is it honestly might be an improvement for his fucking trajectory of his career. Bro, anybody's shaming him for the money. Like, dude, he's playing fucking video games for a living. I'm not saying you guys have to understand or necessarily like support him, but at the same time, dude, fuck, even like you never know when your time doing this shit's done, and I don't know what he wants to do afterwards. Maybe he doesn't want to do anything afterwards. That's entirely up to him. That's his choice. I think a lot of people always say like they wouldn't do things in certain things, but also they would literally never have the opportunity to turn it down. So it's kind of like, yeah, and see, like I know we're on 4-minute delay, and I see you guys saying that like NiKo wants to win. No, but honestly, I really would rate Falcons in a much better position. When you think of who has won, right, compared to if you look at these three guys, specifically these two, with Zonic, with NiKo, this guy will probably be the one that's getting replaced. And then if they bring in Monacy, I don't know if they would, but if they were to bring in Monacy, Jesus Christ. So yeah, I don't know, man. You guys are like, I like to dunk on Falcons too. I really, you know, it's pretty easy to do. It's free to farm internet points, but trying to get away from farming Twitch chat and like actually looking at these rosters, I really don't think it's that crazy to say that like he probably actually would have a better chance winning the major because he has a stronger supporting cast in terms of experience in winning majors. You can't, that doesn't make Malbs bad. I think Malbs, individually speaking, is fucking better than everyone on this team that I'm looking at right now. But also, Malbs doesn't have fucking 5 and 4 majors along with the coach. But yeah, I don't know. This is going to be really weird times, man. I don't think NiKo going to Falcons kills his career in terms of performance. Like I think everybody thinks it will. I really don't. I think he's that good. I think NiKo is that good. There's a reason why they're going after him so hard. And I think he believes that too. Because if he didn't believe that a little bit, all money aside, I don't think he would go. Maybe he's like doing gymnastics to convince himself, but I definitely think he's capable enough to moving to a team like that and then immediately putting them in the top 5. But yeah, I guess wait and see. Wait and see now. I wonder what other rumors are going to surface. This is crazy that this rumor even surfaced though before the major. Like I wonder what that does internally.